everybody, and welcome to another episode of Book HQ. So today I'm going to be talking about the Archie Comics. I kind of have a history with the Archie Comics because I used to read them as a kid. My mom used to take me to the comic book store every Tuesday to get the latest one. So now there is a TV series on the CW, although I'm watching it on Netflix. But yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about Archie, the history and like what's happening now. So Archie first debuted in Pep in episode number 22 in 1941. It's published by EC Comics, and over time, because it's about 75 years old, the Archie franchise, over time it's kind of gotten stale and not really able to appeal to sort of the modern audience. So in 2009, John Goldwater took over at Archie Comics as both the CEO and the publisher, and he really came in with a lot of new ideas on how to relaunch the brand and make it more appealing to a broader audience. And so one of the ways in which they did that was with the introduction of a character called Kevin Keller, who is the first openly gay character in the Archie comics world. And that did really well, and it really showed that the brand is making an effort to diversify from being this sort of very kid-friendly, naive brand. That was in 2013 in A Life with Archie. And there was also the introduction of an app where you could find older back copies online of the Archie comics very easily, and also as newer Archie comics were coming out, they would be released on the same date as sort of older copies of Archie. So that was also pretty interesting and part of that initiative to kind of reinvigorate the brand. So then in 2013 there is Afterlife with Archie that comes out, and it's kind of a darker version of Archie because it's this zombie apocalypse where Sabrina Spellman is trying to bring Jughead's dog back to life, and she accidentally creates this zombie contagion, and Jughead ends up being the first person to get zombified in that world. And so that also did really, really well, Afterlife with Archie. And then from that also came The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and both of those two comic series ended up being the best sellers, or one of the best sellers to date of the Archie Comics franchise. But the most important thing about that is that it really showed that people were interested in a more darker, and maybe not darker, but a different kind of Archie story arc, where we kind of move away from the traditional sort of wholesome Archie, and we get to see them in different environments, and that also changes, it helps us see Archie from different angles, and also helps us see different kinds of relationships, his relationships with Veronica and Betty and Jughead and Reggie kind of are upended because of these different sort of storylines and story arcs. And so these darker versions were written by Roberto Aguirre Sarcasa, and like I said, they did really well, and they showed that the market wants new perspectives with, and the new perspectives made the Archie comic franchise once more accessible to broader audiences. So after that, following the Archie image overhaul, because it really changed the way he looks and the way everybody in the different Archie universes look, there was the announcement that there'd be a TV series, and the TV series aired this year, January 26th. That was the first episode, and it is also, written by Robert Aguirre Sarcasa, but it's also executively produced by Greg Berlanti, and he's behind Arrow and Flash and Supergirl. So, you kind of have an idea of what to expect. Though Sarcasa kind of cited that, the new Riverdale series is kind of inspired by Twin Peaks. I didn't really get that vibe when I was watching it, because I feel it's got more of a Pretty Little Liars / Twilight / Veronica Mars kind of feel to it. And I'll talk a little bit about why I think that might be a little bit dangerous for the series in the future. It seems to be doing really well. It's it's very dark, and I guess it's kind of the culmination of the chilling adventures of Sabrina and Afterlife with Archie that kind of, led them to go down this kind of dark, more serious route with Riverdale, the series. And so the series is really interesting.
Oh my God, Jason.
Through the darkness.
Our kid is dead, Archie, and she's telling you not to say anything.
I'm putting myself in your hands.
I don't know what I'm protecting.
I'm doubting everything about myself, about Riverdale.
The choices you're making right now, they do have consequences.
Tell the story.
The traditional love triangle with Archie, Betty, and Veronica is still kind of in play, but not really, because Archie seems to be having a thing with another character. And so it's really more focusing on sort of this positive friendship between Betty and Veronica, more so than the traditional love triangle that we know from the past, from the comic books, from Life with Archie, and the other comic books, which is interesting. And it's also really nice to see that it's not like, oh, two girls like getting catty and fighting over a guy. And then there's also we have Luke Perry, former teen heartthrob Luke Perry, who's acting as Archie's dad and kind of mentor also, which is cool. I haven't seen him in a while. And then there's Josie and the Pussycats have like quite a big role in the show. The show is really touching on quite serious issues. There's like some issues of race, which you kind of see through Josie and the Pussycats, and then there's also the issue of like dealing with grief and death, because the whole series, at the moment anyway, seems to be revolving around the death of Jason Blossom, who is Cheryl Blossom's twin brother. And so I guess that's where they get the like the Twin Peaks element from. But like I said, it feels really Pretty Little Liars to me. So there's that. And then Reggie is played by, and so this was really fun, because I recently just discovered this actor, and I think I tweeted about it a while ago, but like, so I was home last year over the summer visiting my parents, and like my niece was there as well, and like we ended up watching a lot of Disney, like teen Disney, I forget what it's called, Disney XD. We ended up watching a lot of Disney XD, and we were watching Casey Undercover, and there's this like evil villain called Zane, and he has a son, and he was hot. And so so then I saw this actor there, and then final season of Teen Wolf rolls around, and who do I see? Same actor. And then so now I start watching Riverdale, and who do I see? He's an Asian American actor, and his name is Ross Butler. So it was like, oh, it's Ross Butler. I saw you in Casey Undercover. I saw you in Teen Wolf. And now here you are in Riverdale. So yeah, that was fun to see. So there's that kind of diversification as well. And Kevin Keller is in Riverdale as well, as Betty's like kind of best friend type thing. The one thing though that I think is a little bit weird is that like Jughead is like, he's obviously one of the main characters, but his character is not sticking true to like the character of Jughead from the comics, because like the comic book Jughead is kind of like a doofy kind of airhead whose main mission is to satisfy his appetite. So he's like always eating, like goofing around, like not really serious. And Jughead in Riverdale is super serious, always brooding, lurking in the shadows, because he's writing a story or a novel about the death of Jason Blossom. And so he's always kind of, like I said, skulking in the shadows, gathering information for his novel. And he's like super dark, and yeah, it's I think it's weird, and I think it's not really in keeping with the comic book version of Jughead, but that could be a good thing also. Who knows? The future will tell. And so Betty's character is super sweet. I don't remember her having a sister from the comic books, but I haven't read the comic books in a really long time. But she does have a sister who's kind of like this overarching character who you actually never see. We don't even see pictures of her anywhere. And her character has this history with the late Jason Blossom. And so the story, the whole series is pretty much revolving around who killed Jason Blossom, which is why I said it's kind of like Pretty Little Liars, like, because like with the Allison and who killed Allison, and kind of the problem with that is that like it's kind of have to draw the whole like figuring out what happened to him and who did it for a really long time, kind of the way that Pretty Little Liars did. And I actually even lost interest in Pretty Little Liars. I stopped at like season 3 or something. With the introduction of the A-Team, I was like, nope, I'm not here for this. And so I think that could potentially be a problem in how to keep that sort of being sort of the main driver in plot for the story. I think that could be problematic. I'm not sure, I don't know, but we'll see. So that's, why I said that. But, and then so coming back to Betty's character, she, when I first watched the first sort of 2 episodes, I was like, there's something about her. She reminds me so much of someone, but I can't put my finger on it. And then when I saw that Berlanti was behind it and like that he does Supergirl, I was like, that's who she reminds me of. She's got similar, like, when you watch it, you see how she is, like her character, how she's bringing the character to life. It's very similar to Cara Danvers' character in a way, which I'm not really like super about it, but who knows? We did get to see like a darker side of Betty in episode 3, so we'll see how it goes. But overall, I'm really interested, really excited, really happy with how the TV series is going, and really happy with all the new attention that the Archie comic series is getting. Given all these changes and the like relaunch and the invigoration and everything, it's really cool to see. And it's also really cool because it's kind of a little bit more relatable, that they're kind of touching on many different social issues, like more serious social issues, so that kind of everybody can feel a little bit like, oh, I can relate to that, or I can see myself in that, or like relevant issues. I think like in the first episode or in the second episode, Betty was talking about how she had met with Toni Morrison at this internship that she was doing, and Toni Morrison gave her these wise words, and I was like, what? We are name dropping Tomo. So that's really cool. If you guys have watched Riverdale or know the comics or have any thoughts, just leave them in the comment box below. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you agree, if you don't agree. Where do you think it's going? So that's it from me. Join me for another episode. In the next episode, I'm going to be talking about final season of Teen Wolf. Because I've got lots to say about that. And until then, keep reading and keep watching. Bye.